Hello, Mrs. Gigi here. It's Wednesday. Um, I am back today with a little special project that I actually need to do until Friday. So, yeah, let's see how this thing goes. We are going to sew a little bit. It has to do with the things that I have in school. Well, but that's just how it goes. We need to create a penguin. And I'm thinking something like, let's see, the wings kind of like this. Like that. And then I'm actually going to create this, or is it smaller maybe? Somewhat like this. Something along these lines. I'm going to cut this thing out. And let's see what we can do. It is a little bit of a struggle with things, but I have a penguin in mind that I need to kind of focus on when trying to create a thing like this. I have fabric and things too, so it's just a matter of creating it. So we'll never know about the end result, but this is along the lines of what I have in mind. And let's see what we can do with this double-sided thing here. The fabric piece is prepped and ready to be used. And let's think. Double-sided, or folded it. I'm actually planning on something along these lines. So crafting all kinds of things, and of course this is one of those maybe a little bit more useful in my everyday life. So let's see if we can get ourselves some small little needles. So this will be used on Friday if I have the time to finish it. So hopefully Friday or next week, which will make the weekend to create it too. It's just like this. Is it bigger one part or the other? I'm not really too sure about this. Just trying it out. This might be the thing. I'll just do it and then we'll see how it goes. That's usually how I create things. Usually I can do things that is going to be able to be used. So there is a part of the wing there, and those, let's see, kind of going in the right direction anyway. And of course, the fabric scissors, you might ask, do I own a thing like that? Of course I do. But no, I do use the other pair now just because I had it right here beside me. Let's just kind of do the shape that I need in order to create my little fluffy penguin. So we have it like that. And he no, I do feel that I need it, but I don't necessarily need it to be a fancy one per se. Because I'm not going to use it for too long of a project. So where are you? Can you see me? I'm wondering. Let's see there. Hopefully we have you there. Hello, hello. Looks like a ghost, you say? Hopefully not. Hopefully not. I'm not too sure. It might scare the kids. But the shape of the penguin is like this. So I'll kind of have to go with it. I am... Let's think. How in the world am I going with this? The shape, there is a little white patch. Let's cut that one out. We have a white patch on the penguin like this, I would say. Kind of anyways. Or at least that's what I will go with my penguin. We'll have to check it a little bit, like what do we say about it? Let's go like up to here maybe. Yet again, just doing a little rough patch, and hopefully in the end we can all see. Like I told you, my aim is to be able to use this on Friday. If not, I have the weekend, and I will be able to use it on Monday next week. So we have a little patch there. Is it too big? Or the actual penguin might be too tall, is it? I don't know. Let's see if we can figure this one out. We need some sort of orangey bits too. And of course, an orange, I don't know, but it's close to orange that I have, this fabric. Oh, Friday the 13th. That's true. Oh, I haven't thought about that. I don't know. It is that why it's kind of thinking about it as a ghost. Oh, scared. Let's see if we can create some sort of beak or whatever, like some sort of something. A triangular piece. Oh, who am I? Who am I? Totally like up in the air, Queenie. Let's think. Let's just do it like this. And then the little beak like that. The beauty of working with kids, it doesn't really have to be too precise. Like that. I don't is that too big? I'm thinking now, looking at it, it looks kind of strange. Let's create it a little bit smaller. Like that. That makes me you know, makes me really, I don't know. I feel like it might be too tall. That might be the problem though. So we need white patches for the eyes. What about this thing? Literally just doing this quick. Now thinking, should I leave it open like this to be able to just, you know, do, I don't know. Hello, Anissa, welcome. So today it's a little bit more of a project that I realized that it's a thing that I need to do for work. So I realized it was Wednesday, you know, one of those, and it needs to be done. So this is my opportunity this week to have it done for work. Let's see, eyes. We start with the whatever shape this is. I don't know about you, but when creating or doing whatever in my life, I sometimes, oh, this is way too big for that little. Sometimes I just feel like I want things done now, with capital letters, like literally like now. So with that, my patient isn't really with me in my thoughts. It might be a little bit too big of an eye, is it? Let's figure out that later. We have the main thing going. So, you know, with me creating a thing like this and my patients, it, you know, I need it for a couple of weeks. And the beginning of the school year in August, September. So it doesn't really necessarily have to be perfect. Hopefully they will combine this little creature of mine with a picture of a penguin. So that's what I'm aiming for. The live, I would say 1.5 hours approximately, maybe 2 hours. That's somewhere along those lines anyways. Usually before I had way longer ones, but no, I do have things to do, so that's why. It needs to be smaller. That eye is bigger than the other one, so we will have to change that a little bit. And I am at least trying to think about it as the opening here will be, you know, me putting in a hand in here to be able to have it as a puppet or whatever. Where are you going to spend the summer? That is up in the air. Literally talked about it today, a couple of hours ago. We have a couple of options going. Me and my family. Let's look into that. Way bigger. We need it smaller. We have our summer house close to the water. It is about an hour from where we live, literally by the sea. Might be there. I'm actually going to make this smaller. The bake is driving me crazy. But it might also be abroad. Haven't really decided. With us being able to, with the housing accommodation and things like that, we don't need to have a hotel and things because we have a house abroad, so it might be that we go there. But up to now, it kind of feels like we need to decide that later on in summer, because I do work 2 more weeks. Oh, is it? What week is it today? It's no, it's 3 more weeks. So what are you going to spend your summer, or maybe winter time if you're in Australia? I know I have a couple of Australian people, crafters. Milan or Greece? Oh, yeah, been there. It's beautiful places. All of them, really. So, this to me kind of looks like a penguin, does it? We do need some smaller little bits for the eyes. Circular things is always a little bit of a struggle. Better to start out big and making it smaller. So that's kind of what I'm doing now. Creating another one. Might be actually doing it on this. Let's see. Oh, this is way bigger than the other, but so Time Lord, how about your summer? Where are you going to spend it? Sometimes I kind of feel like it's nice to be able to spend it at home and doing things, or go places, because I don't know about you, but sometimes there are really, really beautiful touristy places around where you live, but you kind of go in your own world, and up to the point where it's not really, where you spend, like in a park maybe, doesn't really need to cost too much money, or in a beautiful nature area close to you. Oh, you have visited the Low, but it's beautiful there. It is. So, what do you think? I kind of debated with myself because I realized the penguin's little wing here is all strange looking. What about that? How am I going to solve that problem? Am I going to do the wing? I don't know. Maybe. Oh no. What was I thinking? Creating this like this? Maybe creating this smaller and cutting that one off a little bit. Look at it. How in the world could I miss that? That's all black to you, but the little part of the wing there, we will have to figure that one out. I am going with glue, just the tiniest little bit of glue with this, just to kind of hold it down in a way. And then the sewing thing going, because yeah, it kind of takes a little bit. We have the eyes there. The beak, the beak. Is it orange or am I mistaken? Or do they have gray or brown or whatever? I don't know. This little thing, it might be cuter to have it like sideways like that. Or do I want to have another? Let's think about this for a little bit. Do we want to have two? Like one like that? No. No, we're not. Or is it? Or am I kind of strange thinking that we can have it like open like this so that you can see? Yeah, I might actually leave it like that. What do you think? Please do a video. A video about what? A video about the nature? If that is so, I am going to have a video out tomorrow. Unfortunately, I haven't had time this week. I am going for a video tomorrow, but I don't know. Is there some sort of other video that you're thinking about? My week, this is kind of the last bits of and pieces of in school, so that's why I don't really have too much time this week, unfortunately. Usually, back in the day, I used to have one video a day for several years, so there is a couple of videos there for you to watch if you like. But of course, my aim is to have at least one video, or you know, short or plus or whatever. Unfortunately, I can't do a video a day anymore because, yeah, even though my mind says so, I don't have time. So, what are we going for? Trying to figure that one out and thinking now, am I just going to patch it up with another part of a wing there, or like a little thing here? Just going to cut it off like that, I would say. Maybe patch it up. We will try that. And think this through. More crafts or nature seems to fill my Emma's biggest place at in Becca's place at the moment. What are you thinking about there, Time Lord? I'm not too sure. You know, one thing is absolutely true. Oh, the kittens. Oh, I haven't heard anything, but I will do. Not tomorrow. The day after, the Friday. If you're interested in it, I do have a live together with my friend Create with Becca on her channel. Each Friday we have a live stream, a couple of hours, I would say 3 hours or more, or you know, something along those lines. Other than that, I wish, and I will. I that's a promise to each and every one of you listening. No, and I'm not going to tell you my real name. I say like I always do. If you know my name, you know it, and if not, I'm so sorry about that. But I'm not going to talk about my real name and my family too much. You know, I have grown-up kids, but and kids in school still, and smaller kids. But I am not going into any personal information more than necessary. So no. So this is what I do. I create, I have fun, I meet up with my friends online like this. There are several reasons that I have decided that I won't go into too many details about my family life and things like that, but so this is it really. I do talk about my family sometimes, but more like in general terms than anything else. So, what about just starting this little creation? But why? You got to keep your. Why I keep myself private online? I don't know, but I you know, like I told you, there is I can't really go into any details about that, unfortunately. So, yeah, that's it about that. I would say. No, I won't go into too many details about anything other than just talking to my friends and having fun and craft. And I know that there are people watching my channel that actually know me in my real life. Those are more than welcome to join in on the fun things, but I won't really talk about too many other of details than that. Oh, no worries. It's not. I've decided not to talk about too much of any. With my kids being adult and they don't really want to be online with their things. Some of them do still live at home, so you will definitely hear them in the background sometimes. But we have decided as a family that there will be a little bit of, I don't know, secrecy maybe. There will be released a little tiny bit of something sometimes, but not all. What I'm looking for now is thread. I am thinking orange one for that, maybe for the beak. Let's just go with that and then start with. Oh no, there could have been a disastrous moment. Who am I? I just saved it. A box of a load, I would say, not a box. It was a whole load of napkins just going in from the upper part of my shelf down to the floor. Oh, I saved it. It was almost like, this is what happens online. That's kind of what I feel. Yep, everybody makes different decisions about the privacy, and this is what it actually has to do with what my husband and I have decided on too. So I've been online for several years, and I have throughout the years talked about things, because it would be a little bit strange, I would say, just to be here online, never ever talking about situations and things. But there won't be any names per se. So now, where do I have? My room was a disaster, and to be totally truthful, I went in here literally 5 minutes before I started this stream, so I didn't have the chance to look through all the things that I need. Uh, that's just me, I would say. I was so, into creating all of these things that I didn't really look into what I needed for today's stream. And I do need a needle. Seriously, for those of you who have been with me, May was my organizing month, or rearranging. Like I tend to call it organizing, but not really. It was more rearranging of the things. The problem with that was, and still is, that I've rearranged things up to the point where they are not in their usual spots, which makes things a little bit difficult. I can't find things easy anymore. So where are they? Or they are just sitting here screaming at me, and literally I've looked through my whole. Let's see if I can find. Oh, is it up to the point where I don't really have the opportunity to finish this thing off? My word. This is strange. This is really strange. So sorry. And, I do have so many things prepared here, but not that, of course. Of course not. Who am I? I don't really organize things. That is one thing I definitely know. But up to this point, it's never been like it. I need to. One thing though, I've always talked to my daughters. Like, you can definitely go into my craft room and borrow things. But please, whatever you do, put things back when you are finished. And no, they don't really do that. But let's see, we found it. We found it really here. I do love crafts. I have so many things. I have things that I didn't even know that I still had, because I saved up. I did go from digital crafting, or like digital art and things like that, up to a point in my life where I decided, like, digital or actually creating digital art or digital kits wasn't my thing anymore. Digital scrapbooking, and I needed to create with my hands. And it started from literally everything online in clouds and things like that. And I still do have, I don't even know how many terabytes of digital creations and whatever, like, things that I've created and being able to create with. But I started to be, I kind of felt I needed to buy things. I needed to buy things to be able to do what I do today. I am a teacher. I do work with kids in all different kinds of ages. So in one way I do teach, it's not in, I wouldn't say I teach art in that per se, but I am a teacher and do artsy things together with the kids. So one might say that I do. I'm not an art teacher, but I do projects that I would say go with art creations. Depending on the ages, of course. Oh, the eye. I'll have to just put it there. So, but no, definitely not like an art teacher. Let's see, how do I want to have this? No, I'm debating with myself doing this. I'm actually going with another type of stitch. Especially we're working with younger kids, I would say that I am more like an art teacher per se, but you know. Hello, Myra. uh, the penguin is so cute. I'm horrible at sewing, so it fascinates me how I, I, you know, one thing I do love to create. I'm rather good like visually. I would say that I have a vision in my mind on almost everything that I do. It doesn't necessarily go the right way immediately, but somewhere along the line, I do kind of end up with what I what I need or what I you know, envisioning in my mind. The roller coaster thing is going like this rather than just, you know, almost always. But I don't know, isn't it like that for everyone? You were terrible at sewing. It's just a matter of practicing, that's what it is. But I don't know if you have noticed, but I would say sewing is my summer thing. Sewing to me is very relaxing, so that's why I kind of do it. I would say almost always, and I'm not even lying when telling that. During my holidays, I tend to just go slow stitching, literally just sewing whatever I feel like in the moment. So, of course, you know, I can do things like this too, but mostly just going with the flow, almost like having a pencil in your hand and just create whatever comes to mind. The thread, the needle, and the things. You know, one thing that I don't know. I definitely have to go with it this summer. I need to go and look into new glasses or contacts or whatever. I definitely have to, because you know, I've realized sitting there for I wouldn't say a couple of minutes, because you know, this um, is a nice color to be able to thread. But some colors like white and the needle, like it's a horrible thing to do. So I definitely have to look into that. That will be my thing in July when I have my holiday. And let's but doing a thing like this is no, it's one of those things that I definitely like, because okay, I know that I need to create this for my school, but when thinking any like plans, of course I could have done it neatly with measuring and all those kinds of things, but that's just not me. I'll just do whatever comes into my mind, and that will do. But of course, you know, I could have planned it out a little bit better, but thinking like for this thing, for instance, I don't know if it is visible because it's totally black, but you can see that the wing there was a little wonky, but That will do. Hello, Teresa. Welcome, welcome. I am creating the beak of a little penguin here. So this is it really, because I realized it's Wednesday. I knew I had to have it done. But you know how, our everyday life just comes between everything fun. That's why I tend to go with these lives like, do I need to do a thing or do I want to do? Because before I did consider art as things that I needed or somebody else needed me to do. Oh, and that wasn't really funny at all. I do remind you of your English teacher, huh? That's kind of interesting when thinking about the pronunciation of everything, and English is definitely not my first language at all. But I'm trying. Hopefully you all understand me, or else I hope that you kind of tell me. So what I am doing is sewing the little beak there. You got your shot. Oh, I don't know, what kind of shot was it? Like the flu shot or whatever. I'm so sorry, Teresa, if I haven't really been into updating me on things. I hope that you're feeling, as good as you can at the moment, though. Before I always told everyone and myself, like, oh, I hope you feel well. I hope you feel good. I hope everything is good. Like, but are we sure that everybody do feel like that? Not necessarily. It has been times in my life where I kind of feel like today is just beep. The feeling like things could definitely be better. And yep, been there, done that too many times. So I just felt like I hope it's as good as it can be at this specific moment. So usually I don't do any projects like this, in thinking that I need to create things for my workplace. But unfortunately, I do have to create this. Or no, I don't really have to. I want to. I've been thinking about it for several weeks, really. And looking into where do we have we need to figure that one out. On the back side of this, going in here again. And we do need to kind of figure out the nostrils here too. Who am I? Needs to breathe. I can't breathe. The beauty with working with kids, especially younger kids that I work with now, they do see the world in so many, more different perspectives, I would say, than us as adults. Think about it. I would say my way of doing something relaxing like this, relaxing to me is this crafting things that I'm doing. You all know that I do different things, but being true to myself, I wouldn't say no. I do phrase myself differently now, I feel. But I would say going back to my childhood self when doing this, in a way. Forcing, it might be that you kind of feel like you have to force yourself to be in the moment. And I've been there. It isn't really fun, but it might be necessary. For me, this opportunity, doing it on YouTube like this, was my way of, in the beginning, I wouldn't say it was fun. I did do a little bit of forcing myself to do this, but it became my way of coming back. But it was a couple of years back now, and I wish at this moment that I had way more time doing fun things like this, doing videos for you, doing whatever came into my life. As I just told you, I don't want to say project, but this thing, me being alive like this, is just on my spare time. I do have my work. I do work full time, and I do have things to go with that. I would never ever force myself of doing things that I don't really want to do. So it will be a video if I feel like it. I usually do a video, but I can't really promise anything. And that is, one thing that I had said to myself doing this YouTube thing. So there are already loads of videos for you to watch if you like, and if you don't like it, you don't really have to watch. But there are loads. There are loads. There are a couple of years, I say a couple of years, but there are like more than 800 videos or something like that, I feel. So if you want to see a video a day, you have a couple of years to watch. But no, this is only a thing for me to, me being able to have fun. I don't see it as a work thing. I do what comes to mind, and if not, no, I'm not going to. This is definitely never ever going to be a stress thing for me, because then I will stop immediately. So no, nothing like that. So we have the little beak there, we have the eyes. Do we want to try another color maybe? Let's look into that. Hello Dana, welcome, welcome. Let's see if we have whatever colors. If I knew I could earn thousands and thousands of dollars equivalent to my work, I would focus 300 or 500% on this specific thing. But no, life isn't like that, and things is going in another direction, so you will have to do with what I have. Gray thread. Oh, we do have white. Yeah, I will go with white. So for those that don't know, there are over 800 videos for you to watch 365 days in a year, so yeah, there are a couple of videos if you like different kinds of series throughout the years. I've done collaborations, I've done design teams, I've done yeah, I don't know what haven't done really, but no, there are a bunch of videos. And yes, I did have a little break with things going on in my everyday life, in my household, but there are definitely videos. Let's see, whatever, like go on the other one here. So Dana, do you have nice plans for the day, or have you been up? Was inspired by your beautiful little doodly things that you were working with, the mushrooms and the houses, and still I haven't got the questions answered because I didn't really have the time to watch the videos yet, but I am curious, what are you going to do with those cute things, ATCs, or being inspired by others is really a thing that I like a lot. So, but then me, I kind of, I don't want to I don't want to, but sometimes I do have to combine this thing, me being able to sit like this with my work. So like today with this little penguin. Let's see if we can just sew on this little patch of ours on him, and doing it like that. In here, doing whatever feels in my mind relaxing time, and it is, let's see, what is it, 8:30 almost. But to me it is I wouldn't say it is dark, because it isn't. It is almost daytime lighting, but and I would say almost 2 hours. It is literally like it's 10 in the morning. It's something getting used to. It is definitely something getting used to, as well as the darkness that we have winter time. It is dark, it is gray, and it's dark during springtime, and in summertime like this it is not sunshiny, but the light is very bright, really long hours of the day. The summer journal I am going to work on throughout the summer as a, not a diary per se, but you know, I will use it as my summer project. So the actual journal won't be finished until end of August. Usually each year I do have a little journal, and I don't want to say that I have a like daily journal, uh, different things each year. Some years I do like a daily entry, but I'm not going to this year because I don't want to have me just needing again to sit here each day. That's not what art is to me. So I will create in it throughout the summer, and then in the end I will of course show you, it will of course have videos on the creative part, maybe videos and lives. I haven't decided yet. The only thing that I know is that when my vacation starts, I will be able to go live more often than now, because I don't have time to go live when I do have things for work. So I know that I will definitely go live more and do, I wouldn't say 1, 2, 3, I don't know how many creations in my arts journal and other things, because me as an art creative person, I tend to go from thing to thing. I wouldn't say that things kind of, make me want to stop it completely, but I have a lot of UFOs, unfinished projects or objects, however you like to see it. But I tend to go back and forth throughout and create, finish them off, of course, but no, not necessarily immediately. A thing like this with the penguin, I do know that I have a little deadline that I need to focus on, but this is one of those like more quick things. I could sew it with the sewing machine, but I tend to not go like that. It is 8:30. Yes, it is. It is. So I am deciding to do this slow stitching thing like this just because it has really been a stressful day today, and I do need to just focus on doing things a little slower and reminding myself that it is possible. And also reminding myself that everything I do doesn't really have to be perfect. That one was extremely hard. I'm not like, it was extremely hard. And yep, I've kind of reached the point where literally I can take this pencil, draw one line, and that's it. Your friend has YouTube channel? Yeah, I don't know. Are you a part of a community of crafters, or what do you like? We are a couple of, there's a whole bunch of crafty people and others. I don't really go to only people that craft on my, I have loads of YouTube friends all over the world. So some of them are crafty people, artsy people like myself. Some of them are not. So there are a lot of people, like Time Lord, for instance. As far as I know, he doesn't really do videos in arts and crafts. Maybe like by himself, with sitting there. But I do encourage that, though, being able to, just try it out. Even though you say you can't do it, it takes a whole bunch of practicing to be able to do things sometimes. And I don't know, when working with kids like I do, you know how kids are. when they are small, they do tend to just do like a doodly, like wavy line, and that's it. And that's their best shot on doing whatever they are doing. And that's a good thing. And I would say with creating art, all of us kind of start out like that. You know, and I'm not really thinking about the age difference here with us being adults and kids, but you know, it is hard if you haven't done it before. That doesn't necessarily mean that you can't ever do it. It's just a matter of trying, and eventually you might like it. You might like what you do. Almost finished with this patch, halfway through. And the thing with my summer journal, for those that are wondering, I am trying to use up scrap bits. I'm going through my little bin of things. You know, I do subscribe to people that I connect with, so no, I don't know. I don't know. This whole YouTube thing is me being able to connect and find new friends, but I do it because it's fun and not necessarily because I want thousands and thousands of followers. That is, of course, really, really nice. Always fun to meet up with new people, but no, it's not like if I knew that it will bring in thousands of dollars, that would be nice, but as we all know, the world doesn't really work like that, unfortunately. Money is always an object, and you do not have enough. Never ever, I would say. Never ever. Or do we? Do we have enough money? There is always a lack of money. Oh, going through this, I think I will be able to have this with me on Friday when going back to work. And hopefully the kids will see that it is a penguin. So one of the eyes is going there, but hopefully they will see it. So apart from sewing, doing all kinds of things, there are things, of course, creatively that I haven't tried. There is always things. There are things that I've been thinking about doing, but it takes a little bit too much effort, or not that necessarily. It is up to the point where I don't really know how to have it live or on a video. I don't know. I will have to figure that one out. I've talked about it before. During summertime I have the opportunity to create canvases like I did before. I did do paint with oil paint and huge canvases, meaning I don't even know inches, but I would say like 2 meters by 1 meter, whatever, like, you know, huge. And for me being able to do a thing like that today, I would need to be outside, and I don't necessarily know how. I tried to do it, you know, last summer in videoing a project, but it needs to be weather, in terms of nice warm weather, because it's easier to video out in summertime like that. But no, I don't know. I would love to show you a big project like that out on the patio or things, you know, along those, or in the grass, or just having a huge painting like that. What to do with it, I have no clue when it's finished. Usually nowadays I do save up on some things, but usually nowadays when I do create, I create so many things that I tend to just throw things away, unfortunately. So this is almost finished. Going around, like, we need to figure out the eyes, and if I want to have it like a puppet to be able to put my hand in there, I don't know. We'll have to figure out the little wing situation too, just because, like, no, there is the planning situation again. But we will figure it out. Dana was here. Yes, maybe she's in the background. So, Thursday tomorrow. There are so many things with being a teacher in school, prepping for the last couple of days. Yeah, there is a lot. For those who do work in school, you know, but there are so many things that you tend to just have to do the last couple of days before just ending the school year. So it was actually up to the point where I felt like, do I have the time? Dana, yeah, she was up there in chat. I saw her. If you are still there on the balcony, Dana, hello. I've been thinking about this channel of mine for quite some time, and what to do and how to do, and, you know, all those kinds of things, because I was actually away from YouTube for a whole year. So let's see, the eyes of the penguin, the beak, the little patchy thing, and let's see, now I put that one away, but we do need that because I feel, am I just going to glue that down and sew it on the edges? Let's see if we could just do that, and sew the eyes, and then figure out what to do, or we'll have to just do a little thing here on the back. So with these pieces, a little bit of fabric and fleece, this became it, the little penguin. And let's figure him out. We don't want to have him too wonky eyed. Let's see, why aren't you just, let's see, put a lot of glue just to help it out a little bit, because I don't want to have holes with the needles and things. Is that right? Teddy is a lab. Yeah, and he is big. Unfortunately, unfortunately, he is. You know, labs, they do eat. They do really eat a lot, and he likes to eat. But no, if he would be the one to decide, he would eat. No, he would eat. That's what he would do. Yeah, but he's on a diet. He is on a diet, so we will just have to pray a little bit that that works. And he's getting old. He is. So, but labs, they do tend to just eat. Like the vet said, they have some sort of, I don't know, connection in their brain that do say, like, literally just eat, eat, eat. I don't know, you know, other breeds that necessarily that have it like that, but labs tend to have that. Like, eat, eat, eat. I want to eat, eat, eat. So maybe the end of summer he will be slim. He is not as tall as the other puppies in the little litter that he was born in. They were way bigger in terms of height and things. But he was the one with the weight issue. No, no, not necessarily, but you know. But the good thing about it, though, with his hips and things, hips is also a thing with labs. But those are really, you know, good. I've actually had them x-rayed, all his, the hips and the legs and the elbows and, you know, all those kinds of things. That's A level, apparently. So we are not going to have a litter with him, but they just said, like, it's unusual to have a lab that had no problems with their hips or their elbows. Usually they do have some sort of problem. I don't know if that's a thing for the breed, like just the breed itself. That's what I would say, but maybe it's just a thing for the Swedish labs. I'm not too sure. I am not too sure. Let's see, do we like that? I'm gonna cut a little bit off. I don't like the little flimsy bits there. The eye. What are we going with that? I don't need just going on the other side necessarily. I'm just going straight on the, like that. Do we like that? Yeah, just do it. Do not think too much. I'll just have to plan this just a tiny bit. it might be better. So the eyes, the penguin can finally see, which is a good thing though. The beauty of doing a thing like this myself is that if things tend to go totally wrong, I can redo it. But you know, it has been really some things I've done like, no, that was never ever what I wanted, or that wasn't what I planned, and things of that nature, and let's restart or rethink. Rethink could be a good thing too. Just do another thing. That might be what you need to do sometimes. So I don't know if any of you watching have done an iCAD challenge. I haven't looked into that this year, but usually the last couple of years I've been participating in an iCAD challenge, index card a day, throughout the summer. An index card size creation with one prompt. And I haven't looked into it this year, but I will. As soon as my holiday starts and the vacation starts, I will be there creating live and videos. But no, they will be an iCard a day. iCAD. Index card a day. Yeah, iCAD. So that's fun. Creating with prompts is always fun. It might be that you find it easier to create if you do it with a prompt. I do have my old-fashioned deck of prompts. I've used them several years. I've done different kinds of prompts. It's just a word in creating. It could be a sentence. It could be sometimes I do use quotes to create. I've done a video series on that. I've done Create with MH, a series on my channel together with another YouTuber at the time when I created it. You know, several of those kinds of things. But creating with prompts might be the easiest way to begin if you haven't done it before. Right here beside me I have actually prepped already. I haven't decided. Well, I have looked into something that there is a couple of YouTubers doing Christmas in July. How am I just doing this wrong? Christmas in July. And with Christmas prompts, prepping for the journal, or like I always do. Oh, this needs to be cut down, but I don't want to. So prepping for some Christmas prompts in July, and I don't know. I don't know. I prepped them. I don't know if I will use them. And the thread here is 3 different strands, and it's really hard. Let's see if we can kind of do the last couple of stitches. We do not need too many more. Maybe 2 or 3. 2 more, I would say. Use up literally everything you have in terms of just a couple of more stitches. Let's see if I can just pull that thread, and the last one. Just going to put it there, making it easy on myself, doing it a little bit of a strange way, but we will manage. Maybe put a little bit of glue. So we have that one, doing one last stitch. Oh, it is almost, oh, there. Like that. We managed to do it. I will actually put a bit of glue underneath here just to try to do a thing here at the back. It won't really show, as you all know, but you know, we all know, for those of you who have been watching here, know that there will be a little thing. So we have those, the eyes there, the beak, the wing part. I am thinking now, am I going to sew this with I'm actually thinking about sewing it with a sewing machine, because it might be easier to do that. And in that case, that is a thing that I won't do online, because I don't have my sewing machine here with me. But we do have our little penguin. I've created a cat before. I didn't do that online. We do need to downsize the eyes a tiny bit though, because it will be wonky-eyed. He will definitely be wonky-eyed. But here he is. Hopefully the kids will enjoy him later on in the week. So for those of you who are interested, I will be live on Friday together with Create with Becca if things aren't, you know, going other ways. So yeah, other than that, it is, yeah, it is what it is, really. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will be back next week. I don't know, next week there is one more week, I would say, until my vacation, and I will be able to have more videos and things to go with this channel of mine. So looking into that, and hopefully you enjoy the videos that are you know, on my channel already. I'll see you again Friday for those of you who are interested, and thank you all so much for being here with me on my stream. Bye 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 everyone.